Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome to another week of Force of Will news. So got a couple just sort of normal pieces of news to go over. I'm going to save the big piece of news for the tail end of this, so stay tuned for that. Before I get started, big thanks to, as always, our patrons over at patreon.com/tcgscrubs for their support of this channel. Also, if you guys are interested in our articles following GPs and stuff, I'll be talking about upcoming GPs. So if you want to keep up with those, the top 8 lists and breakdowns and different things like that, be sure to keep tabs on tcgscrubs.com. It's our website we manage. A lot of cool stuff on there, especially if you follow GPs and different things like that. Also, if you guys are looking for Force Will singles, a Force Will Buylist, as well as pre-orders for Winds of the Ominous Moon coming up, be sure to visit Happy Little Hug Factory in the description below. Be sure to hit that link so they know we sent you as well when you go and get your stuff. There's some pretty awesome stuff there. So we'll go ahead and start with GP stuff. So no GP results really to go over for me, but just so you guys know, this upcoming weekend there's 2 different GPs, one in Thailand and one in Taipa. So, I don't know how to say it, but 2 different GPs. Like I said, tcgscrubs.com will have the results of those as they become available, so it's all consolidated into one spot. Also, the week after that, there's going to be a GP in France, as well as our first ever Wanderer GP in Providence, which I'm pretty excited for. The Wanderer GP in Providence is going to be streamed and covered by DMO73, so be sure to check out his channel during that weekend so you can follow it. I'm going to be extremely curious to see what happens there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it out, as you guys can see. Kind of in the background there's boxes. I ended up moving to a new house. Not ended up, I was planning it for a while, but it coincided with GP Providence, so that's unfortunate. But next time I'm looking forward to some stuff. As like I mentioned, we moved. I have a lot of cool plans for the channel. You'll see in a couple weeks there's going to be some cool, you'll notice the difference with some stuff I have planned. So our patrons will see that as it unfolds and as I start building and making some stuff here. So pretty excited about that. We also got our first look at the Lewd cards for casters. So casters each set, they have sort of these super rare, it's kind of like uber rares kind of alternate arts of cards, certain cards from the set, and they're basically just super lewd versions of those cards. So this set, we finally got them revealed. I'll have them cycling in the corner here if you guys are super interested. But yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm not sure exactly what they're for. I guess I could have translated them, but I forgot. But they're pretty interesting. We'll see what they end up being. But yeah, if you like lewdness, there you go. Also, the spoilers for Architects started. I'll be having a video. I'm going to be pretty late on it because spoilers were revealed a little bit ago, but I'll make a video going over the spoilers for Architects and sort of what we know a little bit later this week. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully we'll have some cool stuff for Architects. Maybe we're trying to work on getting some stuff for you, content for you guys regarding Architects as soon as we can. So stay tuned for that. And we're also starting to get pretty close to the end of spoilers for casters. Comes out every Friday if you guys are interested in those. Missed last Friday, so this Friday I'm going to have 2 weeks sort of squished into one if you guys are interested in that. So the main piece of news, this is gonna, I might have put it in the title already so you guys know, but I'm probably going to rant a bit on this. So a couple things were revealed about the next set. So I'll cycle the sort of normal stuff. So here's the box, still the honestly pretty shitty box, which is unfortunate, but there's that. It looks like it might have the box topper back though, so that'd be kind of interesting. That's the booster pack art right there. And the promo card we've already seen when we covered the Q&A with Jeff, I believe it was when he revealed that. I could be wrong, but we've seen it before, but there it is now, as well as the playmat. When you buy 6 boxes, you get the playmat. So that all seems pretty normal. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Normal stuff. If you guys follow our spoiler videos, you would have also seen that a ruler was spoiled. So it's a colossal ruler that, you know, folds out and everything. And it's like, oh, that's cool. So turns out that that ruler is not inside of the set. The only physical way to get it outside of buying it on TCG Player from some sort of seller is to buy 3 boxes. It is a card that only comes with 3 boxes. Like, it's not like a promo version of a ruler that's in the set. It is literally the only way to get this ruler is either buying 3 boxes, $240 or somewhere around there, or probably will be estimated around, judging on a rarity of past stuff and things like that, it'll be anywhere from $80 to $100 is a good guesstimate of buying just the ruler by itself. So that's the first piece of news. The second one is they are getting rid of the guaranteed ruler per box. So if you buy a booster box, you are no longer guaranteed to get your 1 ruler in it. It is now a 70% chance that you'll get a ruler. So there's a 30% chance that you will buy a booster box and just straight up won't be a ruler in there. So here's the thing about this. So you have, besides the obvious stuff of the huge paywall in order to get this colossal ruler, imagine getting the booster box and only, or not only, but you pull a bunch of support cards potentially for this ruler that you can only get if you had bought 3 booster boxes. If you just went to your locals and bought a booster box, there's a potential you could pull or just a booster pack. You're just pulling support cards for this card, or maybe you really like this card and want to build a deck around it, but straight up like me don't have the money to spend on either 3 booster boxes or just buying the card by itself. Not to mention the problem of stores or distributors and different things like that doing things that we have actually seen. I know we've seen it at our locals before, where the distributor sends boxes but doesn't actually send their promos or something that goes with it. They send other just crappy promos with it. So what's to stop them from just pulling that out and throwing in those boxes to you guys, which has happened before, is another concern, which would make the price of the singles of it go even higher on top of that. And then you've got the issue of, like, people have mentioned things like it doesn't matter, it's not that competitive or anything like that. That doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. My concern, as I've always stated over and over again, is at the local level, the level that matters. I don't care. At the competitive level is important, but I don't care as much about it. 98 to 99% of the entire Force of Will community does not engage in a competitive level. So whether a ruler is competitive or not is irrelevant. If I want to play that ruler, I should be able to have access to it without dumping a shitload of money into it. And not to mention, like I said, buying booster packs and having support cards for a card that you will never own if you don't have the money for it. It's not like Ubers or something like that where it's like, oh man, I don't have the money for that. That's okay. Maybe I'll randomly pull it in a booster box one day if I never have money for it or never pull it. You know, I'm none the worse for it. This is straight up the only way as of right now to get it is through that. Now, before I say more, I will say that Jeff Finnegan, the liaison, did say that he voiced his opposition to this, and that it sounds like they had made the decision without his knowledge to go ahead and go through with that. So he said he did not agree with that decision and that he was going to work on trying to get a way for that ruler to come to the players outside of just buying the boxes. So maybe something like just a normal promo or something like that, which would fix the problem and we'd be happy with that. However, it calls into question some other stuff, which I'll get to in a sec. The second thing is no longer guaranteed ruler in a box. We've already hugely increased the secondary market value by limiting it to 1 ruler per box and the amount of rulers that come out in a cluster and in a set, etc. like that. The thing that threw that off is the stupid sealed items on the rulers, which, let's be honest, just didn't do any favors for anything. It didn't help the second market. It made players frustrated of pulling the same ruler over and over again, of different rarities, same rarity over and over again. Just didn't work out, and so that ruined the market. But we did see the normal rulers, for the most part, things like, as far as I could tell, if I remember right, Sherry, IU, Welser, for obviously not all for the same reasons, but still have held decent value overall. And so it works as far as the secondary market value, if that's what they were concerned about. So it seems weird to take away the thing that Force of Will is known for, which is affordability, and also things like, hey, if you buy a booster box to a new player, you can get a ruler out of that, and you'll probably get enough cards to start the base deck around whatever ruler you pull, or some odds like that, or get a decent deck going and you can trade that ruler in for another one of similar value. You're guaranteed a ruler to play the game. Now, how you can go and drop 80 to 100 bucks and not get the one card you need to actually play the game I know there's cheap rulers, other ways to get it, but still, you should be guaranteed a ruler per box. That's what Force Will was done from the beginning. And to take that away, like, imagine buying more than one box and not getting a ruler in either of them just because of the odds, 30% odds hit that way. And so it just, the problem that I'm seeing is like, what is the reasoning behind this? So they've never cared about this secondary market. So for both of those decisions, feel like they're towards the secondary market, but they never cared about that. And we're in a very sort of wishy-washy time right now where Force of Will is honestly trying to bounce back from stuff. It has come into problem after problem after problem with the game almost dying, with whether it was MOA, whether it was Baja Blast, whether it was Reflector Fane, Prisha, Fox, now a little bit of Sherry, whatever it might be, the really bad print run of TSW and the print quality and the ruler issues. And then their decision after all that, when it's on shaky ground, is to do this huge shakeup. Even if it was something that could be construed as a net positive, you don't need to do that. Just make a solid set, get through this, balance the game back out, fix your print quality. If you can, get back your nice booster boxes. It's weird that you'd step back, but just get back to being a solid game and then start taking risks. Why start taking risks now? Like I said, like why try and like attempt to it's a bad analogy, but like why stab yourself while you're still in the hospital bed? At least get out of the hospital before you stab yourself, or see if you can survive stabbing yourself, and maybe that'll be a net positive or something like that. I still don't see the positive side of this either way, but like it's just such a terrible decision, and it calls into question like what is going on there. Who thought, all right, we had issues with ADK, we had issues with Prisha and Fox that we finally resolved around the time of ADK. We had huge issues, in my opinion, with TSW, from print quality to the balance issues to everything, and to bounce into this set, which we're going to see green spoilers tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But to bounce from that and do this on top of that just seems like I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Hopefully Jeff fixes at least the colossal ruler problem. But still, the 70% chance of pulling the ruler is still, I think, a significant, stupid idea. I genuinely don't understand any of this. Maybe if you guys have thoughts, you can let me know below. I'll reiterate once again, like I said, it's really awesome Jeff is doing what he's supposed to do, speaking for the community. But what was the point? Force Will did this huge thing about how they're going to listen to the players, and they're actually going to have a global liaison who's going to communicate to the players. And he did exactly that, and they ignored it. And here's the backlash. People are not happy with it for the most part. And I can't see a positive side of doing this. The only like stuff I've seen in defense of it is it doesn't matter because the ruler's not as good or something like that. That's not a good defense. That's a really bad defense of this. It's like, but yeah, I don't want to ramble too much, but I forget all my exact thoughts that I told Oscar, but hopefully I got all those across. Maybe I'll talk about it more later at some point. I'm sure I will, because I'm not very happy about this decision and what's going on here. Maybe some of it will be remedied. For sure, the 70% cannot be remedied, because I doubt they're to a stage where that could be fixed as far as where the printing and everything is happening in the set. So that's just going to bring the value down of the set. Why would you go backwards and buy a box that not only does not have the colossal ruler, the value ruler in it potentially, but also might not have a ruler at all in it? Just go buy your singles. That's going to hurt the company in the long run. In the short run, maybe they're thinking like, oh man, people are going to buy boxes now. They're going to buy multiple boxes so they can try and pull that ruler that has a lower percentage chance. They're going to buy 3 boxes in order to get that colossal ruler that they may or may not even get, depending on circumstances. But it's in the long run, it's going to be like, it's not going to be like this, but like think of Millennia of Ages. It didn't have any ruler in it, and it's down to $30. any store that bought it is lost money on it, and it's just everywhere. You can buy it anywhere because there's stacks of it. I'm not saying this will be like that, obviously, because there's still a 70% chance of pulling a ruler, but it is probably, I would predict, unless some crazy great cards come out in it, would, out of Rare Cluster, be the lowest selling set in the long run. That it's just every store will still have it, because why buy it? At that point, in a couple months from now, no one's going to have the Colossal Ruler as the promo to give to you anyways, so there's no reason to buy 3 boxes, and there's no reason to buy 1 box if you're not going to pull a ruler, so just buy singles. So, whatever. But yeah, so that's all the news for today. So let me know your guys' thoughts below, and net positive or negative and all that stuff, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.